Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Think Tank Thursday. I'm Denise Killian, and I couldn't be more thrilled to have you joining us. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors for 2025. We appreciate them and all that they do to help us be able to bring you Think Tank Thursday each and every week. On Thursdays, Trainertainment likes to take a break from the doing and spend just a little bit of time thinking. And this week, I've got a head scratcher for you. We're going to be talking about how to use AI to reinforce and up your sales game. And we're not just talking about using AI to help you with those emails and follow-ups, but how to absolutely create a game changer from your sales team. So in order to do that, we're going to be talking with Keith Moehring, who is the founder and CEO of PlayThru. And I can't wait for you to hear some of the ideas and ways that Keith is using AI in an absolutely innovative way for his company. So let's get started to learn. Keith, welcome to Think Tank Thursday. We're so excited to have you with us.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
So we're going to be talking about AI and sales, but before we do, I want our viewers to get the chance to know you a little bit. So tell us a little bit about you and your company.
Sure. So my name is Keith Moehring. I'm the CEO of PlayThru. We have a mini golf scoring system for family entertainment centers and miniature golf courses. It's quick and simple, QR code scan. Golfers just open it up on their phone, type in their names, start entering scores. Super easy and simple. And then as in terms of kind of as it relates to the topic that we're talking about, AI and sales, we use a lot of AI to help out with a lot of the marketing and the promotion and engagement that we do within PlayThru.
Now, Keith, I heard a rumor that you started this company because you might have miscalculated your score when you were playing your brother.
Yeah.
And so you decided to literally create a company so that that would never happen again.
In my defense, I didn't think of it as a company, but more as a way to protect myself against my own stupidity. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, it was a family golf event, and we added up scores after after 9 holes to see who should be in the lead group, and I added my own score wrong, and then didn't realize until I got home, and I lost to my brother by 1 stroke. So after about a week and a half of sobbing on the couch, I decided I needed to solve this problem.
That's so fantastic. And I love that that is the genesis for, you know what? Not only is the sibling rivalry deep with you,
Oh yeah.
but that led to the creation of a company.
Yeah, it was fun. It's been cool to see it evolve. So it went from family events to a memorial event we were having with my uncle. We used it for a large charity group outing. And then all of a sudden last year, I started getting interest in questions about mini golf. So we built that. And it's been a wild ride.
That's fantastic. I absolutely love it. So, all right. So let's talk about AI in sales. And AI is something that can be a little unnerving for folks and unsettling. But there's so many positive ways that we can use AI, and certainly for sales, I think that there are so many tremendous benefits for it. So let's get started. And one of the things about sales that can be complex is when you're trying to reach a lot of people. The things that separate sales from marketing. I mean, anybody can send a blast to 1,000 people, but
Right.
that's marketing, right? The differentiation for sales is that it needs to be personalized.
Yes.
Sending 1,000 personalized emails is really hard. Takes a lot of time. So how can you use AI to do that?
So the thing that AI does really, I mean, it does a ton of things really, really well. But if you give it the right prompt with a template and like a spreadsheet's worth of data, and just say, hey, I need a cold outreach email to these 500 contacts, it can go through that and spit out that many emails for you within a couple of minutes. Which is fantastic. So me as the salesperson, all I have to do is copy and paste that email, give it a quick look, because AI is definitely not perfect. And you don't want to send that kind of gobbledygook, whatever it is, out to these prospects. But yeah, it can take 80, 90, 95% of the work off your plate and just give your sales team superpowers in terms of just their productivity.
And in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could literally go to ChatGPT right now and give it that spreadsheet and say, as long as you give it like the right character prompting information, like give it a personality, give it a level of expertise, like you're a senior sales professional at a family entertainment center, and then give it a task, like you've been tasked with writing a personalized email to this specific contact. Here's the template that we want to base this loosely off of, and then explain to it what you want in terms of the output. I want a short, concise email. I want you to use bullet points, whatever that is. Write that prompt once and then feed it the data. And then it could spit out really good versions of those emails personalized to all of those individual contacts.
And you can ask it to be long or short or any
You
of
can
those
give
things.
it, the best is like give it a personality, give it a tone and style. Like I want to write this like Ryan Reynolds. I want Ryan Reynolds wit baked into this email, and it'll layer that stuff on top of it. So giving it a personality, or if you have a bunch of samples of past emails you've written, you can upload those into the AI tool and give it that as context. Write this like I would write this email. And it'll look at all of that, figure out your mannerisms, your tone, your style, and then bake that into whatever it's going to write as well.
So it's something that can learn
Mhm.
from how you would interact.
Yeah, a lot of the time we'll give it what are called like knowledge bases. In other words, we'll give it like a PDF of past emails, past blog content, past whatever, and give it that as a frame of reference. There are times where we like domain expertise. We'll give it a knowledge base on what it's like to run a family entertainment center or what you need to know about working in this position and it'll take all of that into account when doing the task you've asked it to do.
That's great. That's great. So the more information you give it, the better it's going to be.
Yes. Yeah. If you just go in there with a one-line prompt, like write me a sales email for this contact, you'll get it. It'll be good, but it won't be to the level and quality that you would probably do it yourself. Whereas if you do give it all that background, all that context, all that stuff to work off of, and you give it a really specific and highly targeted prompt, the outputs are going to be much nicer to what you're looking to do.
And it also helps with the follow-ups. Like after you've had the conversation with somebody
Yeah.
and you need to do a follow-up, can it help with that?
Yeah, so one of the things that we'll do is as we're on a phone call, we'll take notes of what's going on within the conversation, talking points, takeaways, that kind of thing. Just jot it all down in like a bulleted form. Well, what you can do is then copy that bulleted list into like a chat GPT and say, I need a summary email that I'm going to send after this introductory call. Here's all the tough stuff we talked about. I want a quick email or a quick bullet point of the key takeaways as well as next steps. And then it'll write out that email. And what's nice is then that's one of those times where if you give it a template, it can work off of that template too. So as you do more and more of those and what works, what doesn't, use those to feed into the AI tool to get that output much tighter to what you were hoping for.
Which those are so great. Like I love when now almost every recorded conversation on Zoom or on Google Meets, they have their AI bots
Yeah.
that will give you that at the
Yes.
end, which I think
Yeah.
are just delicious.
They are fantastic. And the way they break it down, I mean, these things are getting better and better. We use one that's on every phone call, but it records the conversation, transcribes it, draws out action items, pain points, all that stuff. You could flag that stuff right out of the gate and then address each of those with a follow-up email. And again, that follow-up email can be fully written out by the AI tools.
That's great. It's absolutely fantastic. What about your lead interactions? How can you use AI to help that communication?
So if you're using a system like a marketing automation tool or a CRM tool, a lot of them, like one that comes to mind is the one we use is HubSpot. And it'll capture information on the fly as leads interact with your website or your emails. And so you can use that information as context for follow-ups. Say, so for example, I sent out a email or we had an intro call and I hadn't heard from someone in 2 or 3 days, but they came back to my website. Well, I get that notification. I can ask the AI tool to help me write a quick follow-up email to this contact based on what we talked about and what page they were on. And then send that off and say, hey, I just saw you around here. Here's some additional context or information on that topic. Let me know when a good time to talk is. So in terms of ongoing engagement, being a value added sale versus just like a transactional sale, those things really do play big in terms of getting people to kind of appreciate you and your offering when it comes time to make the purchase decision.
Because that's something that we have these tools with our CRM that will keep contact of all of those different contact points if we put the data in, right? That's the thing with all of them. With our CRM, they're great if you put the notes in.
Yes.
If you don't put the notes in, not so much. But if you don't take action from them, well, it kind of doesn't help you that much. But once you have that information, what do you do with it? And using AI to help make contact with that information, that's really, really smart.
Yeah, I mean, you could use it like almost like two aspects of it. Like one, you can feed it the data to help it understand like you can use AI to evaluate the quality of a lead. So based on past leads that we have in the system and those that have converted into customers, like let's score this lead based on how they're interacting with our sales outreach, with our marketing outreach, and prioritize the ones that are the most engaged. And those are the follow-ups that you prioritize on an ongoing basis. And then the other side of it is you have all of these data points. Use all of it for that personalized outreach. Like, I know you're interested in these 3 topics, and here's what we can do with that regard. And here's our offer to help you out in those specific areas, blah, blah, blah. You can use the AI tools to really bring that sales offer and those communications home, like really personalize it to what they're looking for.
Keith, you're blowing my mind right now. Like, oh my heavens. I've never thought about using AI in that capacity, but it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Because how often do we waste our time on thinking, oh, they might be interested in this, so but they're really thinking about this other thing, or spending our time on somebody that's never going to convert, and using the analytics that the AI is going to see something that we may not, and then we can spend our time on those leads that have a more likely opportunity to convert to customer. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, in reality, the AI tools, the thing that they're actually worst at is writing, like just writing content or whatever it is. They're best at analysis and drawing insights out of finding different connections between data. I mean, that's how they're built. That's what they do. And so if you can utilize those tools to like kind of surface some of these real wins and put those into play, I mean, you can definitely take sales to a different level. And what's nice is you don't have to know how to build these systems. A 20-month subscription to OpenAI is all you need to unlock a lot of what we're talking about. You don't have to be a computer programmer. You don't have to understand the nuts and bolts of how all of these things work. take advantage of the tool and then use the prompts and have a conversation with the chat tool to unlock a lot of this stuff.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Can it help you create offers and pricing and figuring out pricing is such a challenging issue because obviously, you need to be competitive.
Mhm.
And that can be hard to do. Can AI help with that as well?
Yeah, I think it'd help out in like a couple regards on that front. Like if you've got a situation where the scope and scale of the offer is contingent on how big the event is, if you're hosting an event or whatever that is, it can take that variability into account and help you think through all the other logistical things that you need to consider when putting together your offer. But at the same time, give it the parameters of we want to be competitive with our pricing. Here's the margins we're looking for. Here's how much it costs us. And it can help pull all of that together for you to create okay, here's the package that we're going to offer, and here's what the price would be if you want to target that. I will say math is not necessarily, it's getting better. It's actually much better than it was like a year ago. Math isn't necessarily it's a strong suit, but it can give you all the parameters and things you need to do the math, maybe outside of the AI tool. But the other thing it could do, it can give you the package and the offer, and here's all the line item things and the cost. But then, okay, summarize this into a 200-word description with bullet points and list of features and line items that I can then send and present to the prospect. So not only do you have a fully fleshed out, very detailed version, but you have the customer facing version also. So you have both sitting there ready to go, and you can just make and fine tune it from there.
Um, so in addition to all, I mean, listen, you've written the ticket uh with using your CRM to identify who's going to be best going from a lead to a customer, right? I mean, that's it, right? But what other sort of building tools can you use AI for?
The ones that part of the challenge is always with like a sales process is how do we keep leads engaged and kind of understanding where they're at in the thought process. So one way of going about it and using AI for these is like, you don't have to use it just as an internal tool. You can use it as like a customer facing tool. So say, for example, you have a prospect that is in the process of planning out their event, they're getting quotes and whatever it is. What if you offered them a tool to help them think through the logistics of the whole process, like what they should be thinking about in terms of all the ducks they have to have in a row, and what should the budgets be, and when should the timelines of when I should be sending out invites versus final checking this. Give them the tool to do all of that. What's nice is it could be branded for you. And so it's your face, your logo, your colors, your messaging right in front of them every time they go to use this tool. And if it's built, depending on how you build it, not only is that interaction happening, you can see what that interaction is within a CRM system or within another database. So what questions are they asking? Why are they asking? What are they thinking? Where are they at with the process? If you have this kind of personalized chatbot for them, you can get insight into all of that and then use all of that information to improve your offer and your timing and all of that.
Yeah. And not just for that customer, but for other customers as well.
Every customer, every
Yeah.
product. And again, you're just giving your sales team the tools they need to do their job better.
So how do you do that? How do you create that customized chatbot?
So this goes back to you need the domain expertise. So AI tools are amazingly powerful and awesome, but you combine those tools with subject matter expertise, and that's when they become untouchable. And so to build something like that, you have to give it the parameters from which to work off of. You have to help it understand and educate it. You don't have to, but in terms of output, that's the way to get the best output is what questions does it need to ask? What information does it need to capture? And what should that output be like? And then also you're combining it with any sort of knowledge base that you have on the topic and the subject matter. So you feed all of that to these AI tools. And for example, OpenAI has what they call custom GPTs. And the idea is you can build your own, you can take their chat technology, impart upon it all your domain expertise, and then give it a specific role, give it a job, give it a title, give it exactly what it's supposed to be doing. And then from there, give that to your customers to interact with. And that's again, this is all wrapped into that $20 a month package. So you can build all of this stuff real quick and easy. And there are nothing but resources online on how to build these things, and how to think about it, and how to think through the full process. So it's an absolutely worth just an experiment to try out, even as just your internal team building these things out and using it internally before you turn it customer facing, then that all the better, because then you can really kind of put it through its paces.
Yeah. Uh, Again, my mind is blown right now. Because that's something that I've used Chat GPT for things like create an outline for a presentation,
Mhm.
or a training session. And I've taken it, and as you mentioned before, it'll get the basic, and then I make it mine,
Mhm.
right? Or oh, okay, that's a good starting point, a good jumping off point, and then I have to, you know, give it my flair or whatever. Um, I had no idea that you could create a branded your own Chat GPT version that you
Yeah,
could give to someone else.
I'll tell you, for me personally, I have 4 or 5 that I have, and they're essentially sounding boards and strategic consultants that I have next to me if I have a question on specific aspects of the business. So whether it's operations, it's marketing, it's sales, it's accounting, whatever it is, they have everything they need. They're armed with everything they need to help me answer tougher questions, think through strategy, think through approaches, think through like process. They've got everything they need, and they've proven invaluable in terms of just what they've helped me kind of expand my thinking and approach and all that kind of stuff with it.
That's extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Keith, my head is going to be spinning probably for the next week on what you've just given us. So I'm going to ask you, it's time for our Trainertainment Think Tank Thursday question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to try to make your head spin.
Okay.
We're all about growth here at Trainertainment.
Yeah.
So, what do you do to grow yourself?
So I'm early on in my career, I was kind of one of those kind of strong-headed people that just kind of like, I think I know the right answer. I'm just going to go with it. And what I've learned, and especially now running my own business, is the more you listen, the better you are. So, like, I'll give you an example with PlayThru. As the product has come from where it was to where it is today, it doesn't get to that point without me listening to every one of the questions that are coming in from users, feature requests, trouble they're having, whatever that is. Every bit along the way, it's like if I wasn't listening to what they were saying, I wasn't going to be able to bring the product to where it needs to be. But two, it opened my eyes to be like, okay, where are the challenges? What are people interested? All that kind of stuff. And that's not only just within the company, but like on the whole. It's like I'm listening to books, I'm reading, I'm watching, I'm reading social media posts from people I respect, thought leaders. A lot of this AI stuff I know is because of them. And so just listening all the time to everything and then parsing through it all. It also helps, like I'll often take notes, and then you can feed those notes in the AI tool too, and it can help draw insights of things that are common trends and insights and that kind of thing. So I think listening above and beyond is everything else is the thing that I try to do to grow like on a daily basis.
That's fantastic. I love it. Um, Keith, How can people get in touch with you?
So I am on LinkedIn. I'm on Alignable, and our website is PlayThru Mini. It's PlayThru mini.com. And yeah, those are honestly the best ways to get a hold of me.
Fantastic. I am sure people are going to be reaching out to you about a lot of things that you just dropped on all of us. And Chat GPT is going to be like, what just happened? Why is everybody, how to customize my own GPT? That's going to be the prompt surge,
Yeah.
I feel like. So thank you for that. That is so much to think on and so much to play around with. And really the big takeaway is play around with it, right?
Oh,
See
yeah.
what works for you.
Yeah, you got to get your hands dirty. Like, you really got to put it through its paces. I try to use it. It's the first thing I go to for everything I do. So even if it's not something I think it's going to bring value to, even if it just helps me think through the next steps, it'll often bring up stuff. It's better than I am at most things. So taking advantage of that to do what I'm about to do better and more efficiently it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fantastic. So thank you for all of this. This is just so fantastic. And I can't wait to go play with it myself. So thank you, Keith. Appreciate your time and have a lovely day.
Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to jump onto Chat GPT and really start playing with it. I never even thought about putting my CRM into OpenAI and seeing how leads are converted and rating those leads to really be able to focus on the ones that have a higher conversion rate or an opportunity to have that higher conversion rate. It's genius, genius. So thank you, Keith, for sharing your brilliance with us. And thank you also to our sponsors for 2025. We appreciate you and all that you do and allowing us to bring you Think Tank Thursday each and every week. If you have an idea for Think Tank Thursday, or if you'd like to be a guest, I'd love to hear from you. Just shoot me an email at denise@trainertainment.net. Can't wait to hear from you. Well, thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Think Tank Thursday. And remember that the journey to success is all about growth. And here at Trainertainment, we are committed to helping you and your company thrive. So visit us at trainertainment.net to learn how we can support your growth journey for yourself, your team, your business by setting up a free growth call with one of our coaches. Or you can come see us in person. Our full schedule of events is under the events menu at trainertainment.net. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for the extraordinary.
PlayThru is an online scoring system for mini golf courses. Simply post a QR code near the first hole. Golfers scan it with any mobile phone, add their golfers, and start entering scores. They can easily view their group leaderboard or the course leaderboards. PlayThru also includes features like hole sponsor logos and hole transition ads to help grow your business. Visit playthrumini.com to see what else PlayThru can do.